We're going to have to make this a quick one because it's getting hotter and hotter in here, and I don't want to be in here when it reaches peak temperature today, because today is supposed to be the second hottest day of the year. Tomorrow is the hottest. Right. So let's get on with it. Frame we are. So once again we've changed the camera setup. I've managed to get some bits to change things around so the shotgun mic is pointing straight at me rather than being above my head. So we'll see if this works today. I don't know. If this doesn't work for increasing sound quality, then I'll have to look at either preamp or just doing a voiceover later on. I should probably do that anyways. Right. That's my wallet. So I've mentioned before on other videos about how I used to have a shop. My shop isn't this one. It was just off camera here. I don't really want to draw it because the actual building and stuff is quite dull. It was just affordable for the money we had at the time. Having had a shop, I wouldn't do it again. Sometimes I think about opening a gallery, but it's that idea of kind of being stuck in one place. I don't go out anyways, but it's the idea of being stuck in one place that isn't home, I guess. I'm a bit of a home bird. I say that, but you know, my last few jobs, my last few day jobs, I have worked away from home and left the house to go to work. And it's not a COVID thing, it's more that my children have autistic, they have additional needs, so I like to be around for them. My eldest really struggles with school. So my previous jobs have always been working around being home for him. And that kind of part-time, term time jobs are quite rare. And yeah, I'd much rather be freelance at the moment. Just means if anything changes, I'm about. It's one of the reasons why I stopped working at my last place of work, because although they claimed they had that kind of level of flexibility for working, they really didn't. For instance, my grandmother died, and I'd had one day off, and they started asking when I'd be coming back to work. Which is not my idea of a kind and caring community. Really, that was the final straw, the final nail in the coffin for that place. Was how unforgiving they were at me having to take time off for my grandmother that helped raise me dying. And after that, I basically told them, you're going to have to employ someone else for the other half of my hours. I'm not coming in. I'm only coming in 2 days a week now. That's it. And at that point, I'd been asking for them to employ someone else to help with my role. This was January. I've been asking for someone since November, and they had not. They had not employed anyone, so I wasn't particularly happy. I basically told them that was it. They had to find someone, or I was leaving completely. And they did. They found someone quite quickly. And then COVID happened. And I got furloughed. And they just kind of fell a lot in my estimation in that time period. Having already been quite frustrated, having only taken 1 or 2 sick days in the 4 years that I worked there before, and then I'd had to take a bunch because my son got taken into hospital because he had type 1 diabetes and he wasn't allowed out until we were fully trained on giving insulin and things. And they just weren't understanding about that either. So I'd gone from having 1 or 2 days off to having taken 6-7 days off in 4 years. And my boss had had that kind of couple of years, you know, every year he'd have quite a few days off, which would kind of leave me in charge of kind of making sure his students were covered, which I didn't like doing. Because generally I had other work to do as well. So, yeah. So in the end, I had made quite a bit of money working for the Harris. I mean, not big money, but for a couple of jobs working for a museum, I earned more in a few weeks. I earned more from a week's work than I did from half a year working for the school I was working for, using the same sort of skills, same, you know, the same person. It's just the school really didn't value my skills and what I did, and it just left me frustrated. And that's kind of why I resigned, because, you know, I don't always find that work, but I much prefer it. And looking for that work, I much prefer it to the stress of being in a school every day, of working in an environment where they treat me like I'm stupid, when I'm the most, you know, educated member of staff. In my department, and I work hard, and they started acting like I hadn't been working hard, and I just, you know, it was time. I'd outgrown the job. I'd gone for the job in the first place because I had confidence issues, and it was easier believing that that's the best job that I could do, rather than going out there and finding work every week, working freelance. Because my anxiety told me that I wasn't capable of working freelance, that I wasn't capable of kind of finding that work repeatedly. Because that's the hard spot. It's not finding, you know, it's not finding. I've never been that great at developing an audience either. I mean, my pottery account got to just below 900 followers just before I got that job, and it's still got close to that many followers. It's actually got fewer followers now than it did then, you know, due to deleted accounts and bot accounts, and it's still got above 800, but it just, you know, don't have that sort of audience that I can sell stuff to, so I have to look for work. I have to look for paid jobs, and it's not always easy. It can be daunting. And for me, I always find the work when I'm not looking for it, when I don't think I'll get it. That's usually when I find the work, and that can be a really hard thing to accept. I mean, some of my favourite work came through putting in a proposal that I kind of sat there and I haven't got the time, I haven't got the mental headspace to fill in this application to the best of my ability, so I'll just write 100 words and send that in, and I did, and I got the job. And it's often the work you're not looking for that you end up enjoying as well. I know I'm quite lucky that my wife is the main earner in our family. That she can go out to work and she can go out to work and actually help pay the bills. No, that's not the case for everyone. But it's how it works for us. Like I say, that's why I was always working part-time, term-time. So then I would be around. Working freelance means I am around. But yeah. The moral of the story is that I will eventually find my way and I will find stable income. But I'm not there yet. Oops. I'm not at stable income. But I'm enjoying myself and I'm not miserably unhappy like I was working in a school, which took all my energy, and I was literally waiting for people to knock on my door for opportunity to give me work. And I don't have to do that now, and I do go out and find work. So yeah, it's one of those. I do recommend having a stable job, and it was having stable work to help me find time to practice and get better at painting. To kind of give me the skills that I needed to be able to sell my work. When I started this 6 years ago, I couldn't have sold my work. So it's 6 years of daily practice, but only 4 before I kind of launched the art side of the business. I've been a potter on and off for over a decade. And yeah. So, anyway, plenty more to do. I'm going to get out of this office because it's boiling. It's the second hottest day of the year. I'm going to flee now. Thanks for watching. Bye.